Insane. That was the word fans kept repeating, not because it sounded dramatic, but because nothing else fit. In an industry built on spectacle, Jisoo did something quietly powerful. She didn't announce it with banners or hype. She didn't let it become a marketing moment. Instead, the story unfolded slowly, almost accidentally, through the voices of fans who were still shaking as they typed. IT began with a message. Simple, official, easy to overlook at first glance. But for those who read it carefully, everything stopped. An invitation, not to a fan meeting, not to a concert, but to Jisoo's private birthday celebration. Exactly 103 fans.
No dramatic explanation. No promises.
Just an invitation built on trust. Many fans hesitated. Some checked forums repeatedly to confirm it was real. Others contacted friends, convinced it had to be a mistake. Global superstars don't do this. Not quietly, not personally, not without cameras waiting. And yet, the invitation was real. Slowly, disbelief turned into nervous excitement. Flights were booked, schedules rearranged. Sleep became impossible. What people didn't realize yet was that this wouldn't feel like meeting an idol. It would feel like being welcomed. When fans arrived, the atmosphere felt different from the very beginning.
There were no massive banners, no screaming crowds,
no barricades separating people. Just a shared space, calm but electric, filled with anticipation. And then Jisoo appeared.
No dramatic entrance, no stage moment.
Just a smile that immediately softened the room. She greeted fans naturally, one by one, not rushed, not distracted. Eye contact, small laughs, genuine reactions. Fans later described the same feeling in different words. She felt present, completely present, as if nothing else in the world mattered outside that room. That alone would have been enough to make the day unforgettable. But what happened next changed everything. At first, it was subtle. Gift bags placed neatly.
No announcement, no build-up.
Fans assumed it was simple merchandise or a handwritten letter. Something symbolic. That's when whispers started. Confused whispers. Then silence. Then gasps. Inside the bags were items no one expected to see in a private birthday setting. iPhones, iPads, Nintendo consoles. Premium gifts that felt unreal in that moment. Some fans froze, staring without moving. Some laughed nervously, convinced it was a prank. Others immediately broke down, covering their faces as tears came without warning. Not because of the price, but because of what it meant. There were no sponsors announced. No brand messages. No cameras pushing for reactions. This wasn't content. This wasn't promotion. This was a personal gesture, shared quietly with people who had supported her for years. Jisoo didn't make a speech about generosity. She didn't wait for applause. She simply smiled and continued talking to fans, asking if they were enjoying themselves, if the food was okay, if everyone felt comfortable. That contrast hit harder than any dramatic moment ever could. As the celebration continued, something shifted emotionally. Fans stopped thinking about what they had received and started realizing where they were. Conversations flowed naturally. Stories were shared. Some fans talked about growing up with BLACKPINK's music. Others shared how Jisoo's presence helped them through difficult times. Some struggled to speak through tears. Jisoo waited. She listened. She didn't rush anyone. Those moments never trend on charts. They don't appear in statistics. But they are the moments that build loyalty that lasts a lifetime. Midway through the event, the outside world slowly began to notice. A single photo appeared online, then a short video clip, then a caption filled with disbelief. The story didn't explode instantly. It spread carefully, carried by emotion rather than shock. Fans watching from home didn't feel jealousy. They felt pride, a quiet, powerful pride. This is why we support her. This is why she feels different. Then came the question everyone asked, why 103? To casual viewers, it seemed random. To longtime fans, it wasn't. The number carried personal meaning connected to Jisoo's past, her symbolism of happiness, and her way of sharing joy beyond numbers and rankings. Suddenly, 103 became more than a number. It became a message. Happiness shared becomes something greater. As more first-hand accounts surfaced, something important became clear. The stories matched. Different fans, different languages, same experience, same warmth, same emotional weight. That consistency mattered. It meant this wasn't exaggerated. It wasn't edited into something it wasn't. It was simply real, in a digital world flooded with content designed to grab attention for seconds. This story held it for minutes, then hours, then days. People replayed clips not to analyze visuals, but to feel something again. Retention didn't come from tricks. It came from sincerity, and if you're still listening right now, there's a reason. Think about it. A global icon with access to anything chose to celebrate her birthday not with industry power players, not with luxury isolation, but with fans. Not publicly, not loudly, but privately and meaningfully. That choice says more than any interview ever could. As the night slowly came to an end, fans didn't want to leave. Not because of the gifts, but because of the feeling. Being seen, being valued, being remembered. Many later said the memory outweighed any object they took home. Objects age. Emotion stayed. In the days that followed, the internet did what it always does. It moved on. New headlines, new trends, new moments competing for attention. But this story didn't disappear. It lingered quietly, shared again, talked about again, remembered again, because it wasn't built to trend, that IT was built to matter. And now, before this story ends, ask yourself this. Why did you stay until this point? Why didn't you click away? It's not because of brand names or shock value. It's because deep down, people crave authenticity. And when they recognize it, they hold on to it. If moments like this resonate with you, stay connected. What made this moment even more powerful was what didn't happen afterward. There was no official press statement released to frame the narrative. No glossy recap video uploaded by a company account. No attempt to turn the moment into branding. The story was allowed to live exactly as it happened, through the voices of the fans who experienced it firsthand. That choice mattered, because when fans shared their experiences, the emotions felt raw and unfiltered. Posts weren't polished.
Videos weren't perfectly framed.
Hands shook. Voices cracked. Some fans struggled to find the right words, typing and deleting sentences before finally posting something simple like, "I still can't believe this was real." Those imperfect reactions made the story stronger, not weaker. People watching from the outside could feel the authenticity immediately. There was no sense of exaggeration, no attempt to compete for attention, just honest disbelief and gratitude. And that honesty is what kept people watching longer than expected. One clip led to another. One story led to another. Retention happened naturally because curiosity turned into emotional investment. Some fans began reflecting on what this moment represented in a bigger picture. Jisoo didn't need to do this. She had nothing to prove. Her career, her influence, her status were already solid. And yet, she chose to give something that couldn't be measured by charts or awards. She chose to give a memory. That realization hit especially hard for longtime supporters who had followed her journey from the early days. From trainee years filled with uncertainty to global stages watched by millions, the core of who she was hadn't changed. This birthday celebration felt like a quiet confirmation of that truth. And maybe that's why this story stayed with people longer than most celebrity news ever does. IT wasn't loud enough to feel forced. It wasn't dramatic enough to feel artificial. It sat in a rare space between admiration and emotional connection. A reminder that behind every global phenomenon, there is still a human being capable of choosing kindness when no one demands it.